won't be alike.
You is a motherfucking lie, Meek.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Queen Effect podcast where we discuss relatable situations that occur in our everyday lives. Our goal is to create a safe space where we can learn, teach, and uplift one another. I'm Coco.
I'm Madam IJ.
And I'm Shay Monet, the Golden Goddess.
On this episode of the Queen Effect podcast, we'll be talking about chemistry versus compatibility. For me, chemistry is something that is an acute situation. It's something that happens from the beginning. Either we have chemistry or not. Chemistry is what determines if I even like you, if I even want to get to know you, if I even want to even, see what you're about. Chemistry could be how you look like. It could be the way our conversations are going. Maybe I'm attracted to you mentally, physically, emotionally. Compatibility to me is something that's more long term because after a while, your cuteness is not going to keep me. Our good conversations are not going to keep me. It's going to be what you do and what you bring to the table that makes me feel like I can keep rocking it with you for a longer time. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think about chemistry versus compatibility?
For me, I feel like chemistry is what we look for initially, like it's like surface level. Compatibility, on the other hand, it's like the vehicle that carries your relationship through. So, like, you can have chemistry with someone, but if you're not compatible with them, then you tend to act irrational. But when you're compatible with them, that usually sets the tone for a long lasting relationship.
Okay, so yeah, chemistry is definitely way more important because you can be compatible with a lot of people. I I mean, I'm just that girl. So I literally get along with everybody. What does that mean? I'm supposed to be with everybody? Absolutely not. I feel like when it comes to chemistry, chemistry is the thing that's just like, it's undeniable. It's exciting. It stands out from any interaction that you may have with anybody else. So for me, that's what I look for. The compatibility is cute and all, but the chemistry is like what's everything for me. The chemistry is, for me, the compatibility may so kind of be a outer thing, whereas the chemistry may be a more inward mental thing. Maybe that's how I view it.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I look at what's more important, I don't think I'm able to decide because, like I said earlier, chemistry is what even gets me interested in you in the first place. If we don't have chemistry, baby, I don't even want to know your name, okay? Let alone anything else about you. Compatibility, like I said earlier, is what keeps me. But chemistry, it's so hard to say which one is better. Chemistry is what is going to keep me like on fire for you, like excited to be with you, excited to be around you, excited to talk about you. Oh, my man, my man, my man. That's that chemistry. But compatibility is like, yeah, that's my rock. Like, I got him, he got me. Like, I know I can come to you for X, Y, and Z, and you got me. That's what keeps me for the long run. I can't really say which one is more important to me, but I can definitely say that if we don't have chemistry, it's never even going to get to that point.
Absolutely. I think that compatibility can almost be learned because compatibility is how well you get along with a person. And as we get to know people, as we, go through our everyday lives, we navigate, we learn how to get along with the people in life that we need to be able to get along with. Once we get along, I feel like that's a form of compatibility. Whereas the chemistry cannot be learned. I tell guys all the time, the best way to get to me, if you want to get to my heart, even if you're just trying to get to my body, is to get to my mind. And that's where that chemistry comes into play.
Okay, so I feel like the terms compatibility and chemistry, they are often used interchangeably, but I want to ask you girls a question. Do you believe that you can have chemistry with someone you're incompatible with?
What was that? Can we have chemistry with someone that we're incompatible with? Uh,
Yes.
yes. How many? failed situations did we have? How many failed relationships have many of us had? Because you were attracted to them, like you were attracted to them, but they weren't good for you. They weren't able to sustain it. So yeah, it's possible.
I don't know if I agree. I feel like there has to be some form of compatibility there. Even if I feel like you can be compatible without chemistry, but I don't feel like you can have chemistry without being compatible, if that makes sense, because we have to get along to a certain extent for me to even determine whether the chemistry is there.
Nah, because there's different type of chemistry. If it's physical chemistry and I think you look good, I'm that's when I'm the most superficial when it comes to your looks. And you could be funny, you could have game, you could be a smooth talker, we could be just kicking it. But then I realized, oh, you're full of shit. Oh, you don't keep your word. Oh, you don't actually know how to communicate with me. Oh, you're not really emotionally available. That's how I know, oh, we're not compatible. So I think that we're just looking at it from two different lenses. That's why I said for me, chemistry is some more of a superficial thing. Compatibility is more in depth for me, but it could be different for other people.
I would beg to differ. I feel like you can have chemistry with someone. If I'm not compatible with them, then that's a problem because we're not going to agree on things. We're not going to like there's no compatibility. There's nothing that we mesh well, I guess, if that makes sense. Like you have to know me, you have to know me, I have to know you. Like I don't want you to be my enemy if we're, incompatible. I don't think it can work.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You can have chemistry with someone without being compatible with them.
Oh,
Is that what you're saying?
okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said it the other way around.
Yeah, because I know for me anyway, there's some guys, I entertained because I liked the way he looked, or I liked the way he had me laughing, or at that moment I liked the way, he was I liked his thinking process, how he carried himself, how he did certain things. I liked it. That's what made me interested in him in the first place. But then once I got to know him better, that's when I realized, oh, Lord, if you hear me, bring on the next one because he's not it. That's when I feel like you're not compatible with me. But I have been compatible with people and I didn't feel that chemistry. So as a result, I wasn't able to go further with them because I guess, and then that makes me go back to the question that you asked earlier, Shay, is chemistry or compatibility? Which one is more important? So I guess I have to make a decision and say that chemistry is more important to me than compatibility because, like I said, I've been with people, I've known people that I'm compatible with. Like if you look at the other things that I'm looking for, they got it, but that chemistry is not there. And I need that chemistry. I need to be attracted to you or it's not going to work. You can be my friend. I'm not attracted to any of my male friends. Shout out to my male friends that hold me down, but I'm that type of girl that if I said that's my bro, that's just my bro. I don't have that chemistry with them. But we are compatible. But I don't have that chemistry for me to be like, yeah, I want that.
I think that, and I'm no like Webster dictionary or anything, so I don't know the different definition verbatim or anything, but I feel like maybe we're confusing a physical attraction with chemistry because you can also be physically attracted to a person and not have chemistry. And what it sounds like almost is like, okay, on a superficial level, like we meet a guy and it's like, okay, like he cute, like he working with something like, okay, I could probably, give it a run, give it a spin. But then it's like, oh no, we don't link, we don't get along at all. For me, again, I think chemistry is more of like the mental thing. I definitely feel like you can be physically attracted to a person, you can be compatible with a person, but that chemistry could not exist. I do not know if I've ever had what I believe to be chemistry with a person that I wasn't compatible with. Maybe I haven't, I'm just not like seeing it right now, but in my mind, it almost feels like that chemistry can't exist without the compatibility. I don't know. Does that make sense what I'm saying, or am I sounding crazy?
It
It
makes
makes
sense.
sense. I feel like with chemistry, there's different subgroups. So yeah, it could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be mental, it could be psychological. But again, like I said, those are the things that make me even look in your direction. Once you have me looking in your direction, now I want to get to know more of you. And by getting to know you, if I feel like we're not compatible, it's not going to go anywhere further than that. Now, when I was saying that if we're compatible, but I don't have any chemistry, it's not necessarily because you don't look good. That's not what I was referring to. I wasn't referring to your physical appearance because that's not always the case. It could be because I'm not feeling you. Like you're not. I don't feel that fire. I don't feel that push for me to want to pursue you. And that chemistry comes from either you look so good and that was just a way that was what caused me to even get to know you, and then through getting to know you I realized we also have good chemistry in the way we talk, the way you make me feel, the way you have me thinking, like all that, even though it's different subcategories, it all plays a role in chemistry. Compatibility is what makes me know that I want to stick around, and I can stick around with my friends. Like I don't it's easy for me to make friends, but I take friendships seriously. So the friends that I have, there's a reason why you're my friend. And we're compatible in some degree for different reasons. But if I don't have that chemistry, it may not even last long. The friendship might not even last long. So I might get tired of you, or I might not want to pursue a relationship with you. So I'm okay with just being your friend.
Yeah, I agree. You said something, you mentioned something about compatibility. And if you have that with someone, you can spend a lifetime with them. I think that's the difference. Like chemistry is like, it's an instant thing. It's something that you feel. More so compatibility is to me like sharing the same values, whether it be it may religious values, family, money, etc. I do agree with you, IJ, as far as that goes. Like we can be compatible, but if there's no chemistry there, no matter what it is, like you said, it can be on different aspects, physical, emotional, mental. If that's not there, then how can you move forward?
Because if you get me mad, and I ain't physically attracted to you, you're gonna look so much more ugly. I'm gonna be like, Lord, I can't do this. Or if you get me mad, but you don't have a way of having me like mentally connected with you, I'm going to disconnect. Like there has to be something, some type of chemistry that we have that helps me to get through the bad times with you. If we don't have that, baby, it ain't gonna go nowhere.
And let me just say this, like for any of our guy listeners, any of our men who are listening, and you want to know how to get a queen, how to treat a queen, how to handle a queen, the first thing that you need to do is learn her mental, get to know her mental, make her fall in love with your mental and you fall in love with hers. Because when you got our minds, you can literally get anything from us. But once you lose our mental, once you lose our minds, you lose our bodies and everything else that goes along with it. We can't even connect with you anymore because you've disrespected me so much to the level that you've literally blown my mental. Or maybe you haven't disrespected me. Maybe the conversations that we're having, the things that we're talking about, I'm just not connecting with you. Being single and dating has shown me like when you remove the physical from a lot of situations, there's really not a connection there. I want to be able to talk to you about everything, literally from like the smallest thing to the most major. And there should never be a moment where there are quiet times or where we have nothing to say. We should be so mentally connected that even in our quiet times, we still talking within our minds, but we're respecting that quiet space. So for me, without that, there is literally nothing. Like, I don't want it. I don't want it. I keep it.
There's something that I found, and they said, I found it on Twitter. She said, "You will not be compatible with every single person you meet, even if you have chemistry. It takes time to find true compatibility, but it'll be worth it. Quality versus quantity." And I agree, compatibility takes time. And that's something that you learn with the person as you're growing with the person. That's what determines for me if you're going to stick around for the long term. Chemistry is like the foundation. The compatibility to me is like the glue. Like you need the two in order for it to work. But baby, if I don't have chemistry with you, it's never even going to get to that point. That is the point that I'm trying to drive home if my future husband is listening, because I know that the Lord has blessed you with sense to know that it's time to get me together. But I'm just saying, if we don't have chemistry, it's just not going to work. So,
That is so true. Like over the past years of me dating, it can be times where, I really, really like somebody and oh, they look good. They got the whole package. They got everything, good body, good hygiene, well endowed, but there's no chemistry. And like you wake up like, who is this person? Because you were, maybe because I was lusting over the person. And once I finally like hung out with them and got to know them, it was nothing there. And it was like crickets in the background. So then I had to reevaluate who I allow in my circle as far as dating, and how am I going to put my energy into somebody that I don't even have chemistry with.
and y'all looks are not everything. We're going to get old. I mean, I'm still going to be fine when I'm old. I don't know about some of y'all, cuz some of y'all be drinking too much and doing all these drugs, but looks is not everything. I mean, it's important, but can you handle me when I'm having a bad time? Like, I think I'm very reasonable. I'm very calm person, but when I'm on 10, I'm on 1,000. Are you gonna be able to, like, some people just know how to just calm me down without provoking me? Are you gonna provoke me? Are you gonna be able to calm me down? Are you gonna be able to connect with me in that level? If you can't do that, then we're not compatible, because all that chemistry stuff is going to go out the door if I feel like you're not the type that I need to keep around with me long term, because my mental health is important, my peace is important, and I can't choose someone that is going to antagonize that. That's going to make me die faster than I need to die, and it's going to feel like I chose that poison, and I'm not doing that. So if we're not compatible, baby, mm-mm, get the hell on.
And not only is it gonna make me die faster, but it's gonna make you die faster too, because I'm probably gonna want to kill you because you're fucking with my mind. And I just want to be clear as a person who some of you may or may not know, but I was formerly married for about 7, 8 years. The chemistry is not going to always be there. Sometimes that fire is going to fizzle out. So then that's when it becomes more of a compatibility thing, because once that fire fizzles down, how do we get it back? Are we willing to even work towards getting that fire back lit, that spark, that chemistry? Because when we're talking about a to death do us part, it's not going to always be that way. It's not going to always be fun and exciting. It's not going to always be easy and filled with love. It's actually going to be hard work. It's going to be dedication. And you might not like my smart ass mouth. You might not like the fact that, I go 0 to 1,000. But okay, so what we gonna do about it? How are we gonna handle this respectfully? I may not like things about you, but the fact of the matter is we're all human beings. So more importantly, how do we get that chemistry back? What are some ways that you guys think we get that chemistry back when we lose it?
Like our good sister Shay said, the chemistry is not going to always be there, especially during hard times. And when you guys are able to get over that hurdle, how do you get the chemistry back? Because I fear that if you're not able to get the chemistry back, that's when you're not going to want to continue the relationship. Like, it's going to feel like you're with your roommate. It's going to feel like you're just thugging it out with a partner. It's no longer your lover. It's just someone that's there sharing your space. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's for different people, they figure out different ways to bring their chemistry back. It could be maybe y'all stop dating each other, so y'all start dating each other again. Maybe, the other person stop doing certain things that they know that the other person loved they used to do, and they start doing that for them again. It's like getting back to what made you fall in love with them in the first place, getting back to what helps you to get that person to want to be with you in the first place. And that's why it's important to try to maintain however you got them is how you need to keep them. So if you know how you got them, then that's what you can do to bring that chemistry back when y'all going through tough times. Okay, period.
In order for you to get the chemistry back, you have to know what happened to make it go away. Now, this is something that a lot of people do in relationships. Instead of focusing more so on the solution, you focus on the problem. There's no need to focus on the problem. Once you figured out what the problem is, think of a solution to get you back to where you need to be. Both parties have to be and have to take accountability. Now, this hits home for me. I'm not going to name anything, name anybody, but I've been through this before. I always used to point the finger, point the finger, point the finger in a relationship. I never took accountability to say, okay, this is where we're at. This is where we want to be. You say I did this. I say you did that. We're going back and forth. It shouldn't go that way. It should be, I love you. You love me. Things have fell off. What can we do together as a team to get us back on track? Because if one person is always the one giving, 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 and the other one's just gonna take it and gonna take it and gonna take it and never give back, the feelings aren't being reciprocated. So for me, that's the first step. Realizing what happened for it to get to that point to begin with, and then sitting down as a couple and thinking of the ways to get back to where you need to be. If you still feel like the person is not doing that, then you need to reevaluate your whole relationship. But it have to go both ways. Both people have to be willing to get that chemistry back if it's gone.
What do y'all think? Do you think chemistry is more important than compatibility? Or do you think compatibility is more important than chemistry? Or do you just think that they're both equally important? And if you are in a situation with your partner and it just got really bad, how do y'all bring that chemistry back? We would love to hear from you guys. So please share your opinions.
We hope that you all enjoyed today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Queen Effect podcast, and we will catch you on the next episode. Follow us on our other social media platforms. You can find us on IG and Twitter under @TheQueenEffect, as well as Facebook and YouTube under The Queen Effect. If there's a topic you want us to cover, or if you want to send an anonymous question for our Dear Sis segments, email us at thequeeneffect@gmail.com.